Okay, one of the things with squeeze pages, I've already mentioned this a couple times, is testing. If there's, I mean, it's funny because a lot of people that are teaching marketing will talk about testing. And I think the funny thing is a lot of them don't actually test. And then another thing is a lot of people they tell that you should test, they don't actually end up testing. But it's really critical. Sometimes testing is hard. Sometimes it's a pain in the neck. With squeeze pages, it's super easy. And it's free. If you go to Google Website Optimizer, there's basically very, very simple tools. They have instructions on how to use it. And you just put together 2 web pages. And then you'll just test and see which one works better. And just think about it. Like say you had, squeeze page A, and you're doing just fine, okay? And you're getting about 10% of the people coming to that page are opting in. So let's just say in a given, let's say a given day, you have 100 people come to that page, okay? 100 at 10%, and you're getting 10 subscribers a day, okay? And that's great. So you think, okay, I just need to drive more. I got to somehow figure out how to get this number up to 200, to go from 100 to 200 visitors. And if you can do that, if you can go from 100 to 200 visitors, that means you're going to get 20 people a day. Okay, so 20 people a day, that equals 600. 10 people a day equals 300. 300 a month, 600 a month. So if you have a 10% conversion, you have 100 people coming, okay, I'll just need to double my traffic, right? And I can all of a sudden be getting 600 people a month. And I'll tell you what, even if you're only getting 300 a month, you're going places with that. Okay, so all's happy and good. The only question is how do you go from 100 to 200 visitors? Well, it's all very doable, and there are ways to do that. I already mentioned some of the ways to drive traffic. Here I go with the drop-in pens deal. Let's go with a different, we needed a different color anyways. Okay, so obviously it's real simple to sit here and say, boy, if I just drove more traffic, okay, I'm gonna make, get more people on my list's gonna grow faster, I'm gonna make more money, yada, yada. Now let's just suppose you had design B. And I mean, you already put together one squeeze page. How hard is it to put together another squeeze page? And what if you to make this really simple, let's just say that the headline here was, let's just pretend it's big tomatoes. Big tomatoes. Okay, you took this exact same page and you just said file, save as, and you saved it as file name B. And then you use the exact same page, but now it said big tomatoes, exact same thing, whatever. But now it's in blue. All you did was change the color of your headline. And you tested this one versus this one. And what if all of a sudden you tested that and you started getting 12% conversion? You just ran this test for, a week and you realize you're getting 12% conversion. Now, these 100 visitors are turning into 12 visitors a day, okay? Which is turning into, here's 12 a day, and that's 360. Now, if you did do this whole big traffic jump and you somehow figured out how to get it up to 200 a day, now you're getting 24, okay? And what's that going to be? That's going to be 720. I long ago learned not to do math on camera, but I'm pretty sure that'd be 720 because you would increase this number by 20%. Now, which would you rather have? Would you rather have 300 or 360? Would you rather have 600 or 720? And the reason I did this growing of the traffic math for you is to show you that everything you do here to raise this percentage grows exponentially when you grow the other things in your business. When you grow the traffic, this makes that traffic, that increase exponential. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get a 20% boost just by changing the color of your headline, but you might. I mean, little simple tests, and especially when you're starting out, the first half dozen tests you do, they tend to make big jumps. After you get it, if you end up getting this page and all of a sudden now you do test C and D, and all of a sudden you get it up to 25% conversion, it might be tougher now. As it gets better and better and better, every incremental piece is hard, but the first few initial tests are easy. And it can be simple stuff like changing the color. And I mean, all it is it's just creating a second page, and it's going to Google Website Optimizer, and it's spending 10 minutes to read their stuff that teaches you how to do this, and you're going to be testing. And this is what testing will do for you. And I've done a ton of this testing, and it's fun. It's fun. It's really easy, and it's fun. So now I want to talk about some of the stuff that you want to test when you're testing. So the absolute first thing you want to test is your headline. And you want to be testing, you're probably going to go through a whole bunch of headlines. Test. Write down 20 potential headlines and start testing them, okay? And the way it works is, I just showed that, and we have this A, and we have B, okay? The other term, for this, they call this the control, and this is the test. This is A-B split testing. There's this whole other thing called multivariate or Taguchi, and you can do that as well, and that can be really cool, but I mean, it's easier to start with A-B testing. So you're just and you use software, so like one visitor comes to get this, next visitor gets this. It's not like you run one for a week and then the other for the week, because that's not a valid test. Traffic changes. So you run A versus B, and then say you run it for a while, and we can't go into statistics right now, but you want to get several, I would say the winning test, at least 100 to 200 subscribers before you change. There's some schools of thought you can do it with 30 or 40 actions, and possibly, but those would be like buying actions versus opt-in actions. So I'd go for at least 100 or 200 actions, an action being someone subscribing. So, say we get to this one has got 100 people subscribed, and this one's got 150 people subscribed. Google's going to do all the math for you, tell you when you have a valid test. But anyways, say this one wins. Then what happens is this B, that one becomes your new A, your new control. Okay, so, and then you come up with another one, and this is going to end up being C or D or E or whatever. But basically, whatever wins becomes your new control. Okay, so we test headlines. Number one, easiest thing to test. Second thing you really want to test is the offer. What's the bribe you're making? Those are the two that you're going to see the big jumps in those two, the headline, the offer. Once you get beyond that, you can start to work. You can test copy or bullets. But for most of my testing, I would skip that, and I would go to testing the color of the headline. I would test putting the headline in quotes. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the market. I would test the subscribe button. There, subscribe button. All of a sudden, I'm having problems here writing. So by this, I mean, do you put join the list or get my free report or subscribe or enroll, whatever? You can change the text on the button. You can change whether it's a graphic or not. or just like one of those like gray like buttons that looks like it's built into the computer type of thing. So test the actual subscribe button. You can test the overall layout. You can test video or no video. But this is the general order: is headline, then offer, then sort of the elements on the page. Copy, you can test those, copy and bullets, but like I said, my recent tests have shown for most page designs that copy is not that important. They look at that headline and they make their decision based on that. So those are the things you want to test. And again, it's easy. Split testing is very easy. There are times when split testing gets complicated, like if you're going through your whole shopping cart, your checkout process, upsells, downsells, it can get complicated there. Testing on a squeeze page is easy to do. It's simple to set up. It gives you results really, really quick, and it makes a huge difference in your business. I mean, like I showed that example, would you rather be getting 600 people a month or 720 people a month? It's obvious. And that's the kind of results you'll get when you test your squeeze page.